Hello, Yang. In 3 keywords, how would you define creativity?
Nursing new ideas, or breeding new ideas, trigger new ideas. Those are the 3 words.
And how did you grow d2o from a one-man band to a company counting 250 employees today?
Yes, if you include the hotels that we manage, then we get up to that size. Well, it's first of all having a vision and believe in it, and then trying to hire people or selecting people with the same vision or sharing the same vision and grow the company. So that's the secret sauce for d2o.
How do you consider the interaction between people and technology? Do you consider it as an opportunity? Do you see threats in this interaction?
Oh yeah, I love that question. I have had many debates and discussion regarding the interaction between people and technology. But I do look at technology a little bit larger, a little bit wider than just information technology. I definitely do see that as an opportunity. But I guess I belong to a smaller group that embrace the speed, the impact, the magnitude, and as well as the frequency of what technology do to us. And threat, sure, any opportunity for good guys give the same opportunity to bad guys. So criminals, we have seen many cases there. But I think overall the equation is that the opportunity weighs much more, because look at the world around us, everybody got a voice. Suddenly everybody got a voice.
An example, how can the technology offered by d2o support, for instance, labor productivity?
Yes. I'm glad you say for instance, because PMI is the solution, or the group of solutions we have, cover more than just labor productivity. How? Allow me to take some time on that. There are 2 key factors why there's a need for PMI. One factor is that for 20 years now, the hotel industry has embraced revenue management, a revenue management practice. So what does it really do to the hotel industry? You move from cost-based pricing to market-based pricing. Cost-based pricing is that something costs this much, and then you add a margin that you expect to earn, and that's the price. And now you leave that margin management to the market. And so what do you have left of the P&L, of the profit and loss to manage? The cost. So that's one side of it. The second driver which give the PMI the life or the right to live in this market and the future is the decision structure in a hotel organization is not logic at all. Why? Because if you want to buy something for €100, you need 3 people to sign the purchase order. And maybe you need a meeting to see, do we have a budget or not? But at the same time, you have a executive chef spending tens of thousands euros on a daily basis. And you have a executive housekeeper spending a lot of time, money as well, and all these people around the organization. So in reality, department heads, they have more spending power than a general manager in most hotels and in most chains. So PMI bring all these people, decision makers, an online platform more for collaboration rather than for reporting. And that will allow that all the players play in a football match with a certain synchronization. So when a revenue manager changed something, it got an impact on housekeeping, it got impact on breakfast, it got impact everywhere, as well as food and beverage revenue.
Which are your recommendations about the approach that hoteliers could use to analyze their environment? Which are, according to you, the limitations of the traditional PEST SWOT analysis?
Yeah, SWOT and PEST and budget, traditional yearly budget, or any of the model that we do. I believe the limitations are, one, execution. We know that hotel business, especially operation level, has not been a good player or a good organization or industry to follow something systematically. And so SWOT and all those models require some kind of systematic and things got to be very logic, so it's kind of logistics management. And with those traditional models, like SWOT and PEST developed in the 60s. And so just imagine that the 60s and today is pretty big difference. So that's give you a logic that this doesn't apply. And secondly is that SWOT is a yearly process because it's a very cumbersome process. It's a time-consuming process. So when you do that, it's like making a budget. You go and lock yourself in the office for maybe a month or several weeks, and once you're done with it, it's already outdated. It's not valid anymore because things have changed. So that's why I believe that that limitation there. Just look at balanced scorecard, for instance, came out in the 90s. Already today, many specialists, they say that there are limitations there already. So things got to have a much more KISS, as we like to say it in d2o, keep it simple, keep it sexy, and keep it sharp. Because in the end of the day, it's the human factor. Things need to be changed by people, and that's why it got to be KISS, and it got to be rolling basis.
How do you implement your words in your company?
We don't talk about implement it anymore. We talk about how to integrate it into the business as a part of the business. For instance, talking about creativity or innovation. It's not a once-off exercise. It's not a yearly exercise. It's not a monthly exercise. It's an ongoing exercise. So that's why you need to take both technology and all those things and rolling forecast as if it's your business. As if you would clean the carpet on a daily basis, as if you would check in, check out guests. That's a part of the integrated technology method and objects to enhance human capability as a part of the management process. So yes, you need to integrate it rather than implement it, because implementing sounds like very deadline driven, and that's why the name, even after 12 years, the name d2o, our company, d2o stands for deadline to online, because my vision has always been that let's move from deadline-driven activities and go online, a collaboration and integration.
And finally, Jung, in 3 keywords, did Nguyen impact your creativity and how?
Yeah, those 3 words, excellence, efficacy, it has meant a lot for me. It has driven me to search for the balance between the quality and the productivity. And I do believe that quality and productivity goes one. It's like water running through a river. There's only one speed, that is the productivity, that you get the clearest water. If it goes too slow, the water gets dusty or it's not that clear. If it goes too fast, then you really get bad water. So it's the same thing, how to find that peak point and the balance. And I would like to add one more, is just a couple of minutes in a class has meant a lot for me. It was I believe that you were speaking about transportation related to tourism and the impact it got. And so we had to analyze Singapore Airline and the advertisement of the Singapore Airline and the picture that you gave us as assignment in front of the class, and we have to look for symbols, we have to look for things in the pictures that meant why it reflects to the value of the company and what the message is. So my point here is that you need to understand why rather than how. You need to understand the driver behind things, because if you understand that relationship, you have learned much more than what that very specific situation is giving you.
So thank you, Yang, for these innovative thoughts and for your inspired words.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.